We live in a different world. It's imperative. We live in a time... I know you feel this way. I have 4 children. How many times, as parents, have we thought to ourselves, I hope this is all past by the time they've got children. I don't want my children to go through this. Democrats, Republicans, independents, we want to do the hard work so our children don't have to. We're willing to do the hard work so our children don't have to. I'll defend America. I'll give up my life for America. I will do whatever I have to defend America as defined by the Constitution, but I'm not sure those in Washington will do the same. I'm not sure if they see it. Who are we? Who are we? Are we a country that can't get it done? Are we a country that's bogged down in war? Are we a country that can't stand on our own 2 feet? We have to go and fly halfway across the world and fall down at the knees of a sheik for more energy? Who are we? Are we that? Or are we the country that changed the world? Are we the country that ignited the imagination, that first gave humans the real taste of freedom? Are we the country that gave the world the light bulb, the telephone, the movie, the car, the assembly line, the artificial heart, the computer, bifocals, sewing machines, refrigerator, the internet, safety pins, televisions, cash registers, crayons, Henry and Winchester repeating rifles? Are we that country? I contend we are that country. We still are that country. We still are those people. We still are those inventors. We're still that free spirit. By the way, all of those things had the same thing in common. Government wasn't involved in any of them. No, I'm sorry, wait. I'm sorry, with an exception of the internet, which was invented by Al Gore. Let me just close. By saying our leaders have time and time again asked us to do our part. And that has been go to the mall. Take your rebate check. Don't save it. Spend it. Others have just taken it upon themselves. I don't know how many people in this room realize that tonight you're in the presence of Marcus Luttrell. Marcus Luttrell, a guy who kept an unknown face of a 9/11 victim in his pocket. And he and 3 other friends faced off 400 Taliban and Al-Qaeda members, and he was the lone survivor. How awful it is that he did that while we considered our sacred duty of going to the mall. Where is the politician? Where is the politician that will just be honest with us? That will just say, I love my country and I know you do too. I know we feel the same way. We might disagree on policies, but you want to do the right thing? I'm sorry. There's more to do than just go to the mall. Just a few things, since no politician will ask you. For my children and your children, let me ask you. Just get out of debt. When did Americans start looking at thrift as a bad idea? Educate yourself. Educate your children. If you don't educate your children, the education they're getting will educate you. Just educate your children. Do you realize it was this year that I started to read things that I've never heard before? I started to read about Woodrow Wilson. What an evil, rat, bastard president that guy was. I went to the head of the James Madison Project in Princeton University, and I said, you hold the Woodrow Wilson chair at Princeton, right? And he said, yeah. And I said, he was an evil, rat, bastard president, wasn't he? He said, oh, yeah. We don't learn anything. We have to educate ourselves, teach ourselves self-reliance. Third, let's stop arguing with each other. No, I take that back. Let's continue to argue with each other, but over the facts. Let's stop calling each other names. Disregard the evil rat bastard comment. Let's argue over policies. Democrats are good people. My grandparents were Democrats. I was a Republican for a while there. We're not people of the party. We're Americans. Fourth thing, the fourth thing is fall to your knees. Humble yourself. Pray. Pray for our leaders. Pray for our enemies. Pray for our safety. Give thanks that we were born in this great country. For we should fall on our knees every day for as many problems as we have right now, and I believe we're facing one of the most fierce storms this country has ever encountered. It's still the greatest time in the history of man to live on planet Earth if you live here. For all the problems that we have, thank God I was born here. The fifth thing, Charlton Heston said, Stand up. Stand up. Stop being afraid. Stop editing your words. Stop worrying what anybody says about you. Oh, they're a Jesus freak gun nut. Amen to that, brother. I love this country. I took my daughter to Princeton University. I took her, she's looking into schools. I'm a self-educated guy. I'm the first in my family, in at least 3 generations, that's not a baker. I went back to school, or I went to college for about 3 months when I was 30. Eight years ago, I couldn't afford my rent of a small little cockroach-infested apartment that was $695 a month. 8 years ago. My daughter and I were walking in Princeton. And I stopped. She got a couple of steps ahead of me, and she stopped, and she turned to me and she said, "What's wrong, Dad?" I said, "Hannah, you have worked hard. You have worked hard and you've studied hard. And you've put yourself into a position to where you could go get an education in one of the finest institutions in the world. And your father has gone from not being able to afford $695 a month for rent to being able to write a check for 4 years of this education only in America." Let us be worthy. Let us be worthy of all those who went before us. Let us be worthy of the sacrifice of Marcus's friends. Let us be worthy of all those that struggled to put us here. Let's be the people who we really are, not the people we've allowed ourselves to become. Let's be the people that do not look for our answers from Washington, because you'll never find them there. They come from here. They're transmitted here. And they come out here. The secret of America, the answer always lies in we the people. Good night.